Hello everyone. Today I am going to teach you one some important concepts in the circles. Here I have taken two questions, one question from 9th standard and other question from the 10th standard. So while teaching these two questions, if you observe the first question, here O is the center of the circle. So AB is passing to the center of the circle means it is the diameter of the circle. So one figure is given, here angle C is mentioned as 120 degrees and we require to find the value of x. The value of x is nothing but the angle of DBA. The angle DBA we require to find. This question is in your 9th class standard book. So this is one of the important question also. And this is also one question in 10th class. This question is on tangents question. This is angles in a circles question. While teaching these two questions, students are required to know the theorems in circles. Theorems in circles. So while explaining theorems in circles, if you prepare some TLM, it is easy to learn. So here I will show you one TLM. This is the TLM I prepared to learn different types of theorems in circles, different types of theorems in circles. By using this TLM, we can teach every theorem which is in 9th class, by the way in the 10th class. So if you use such a type of TLM, the students feel practically, they learn every theorem practically and they feel very happy and they put their interest to learn different types of questions to solve in circles. So just for your information, I have shown this TLM. So every teacher should prepare this type of TLM at their schools. Their students will learn practical knowledge in circles. So here in question number 1, if you see the figure, if you observe the figure, A, B, C, D are 4 vertices are on the circumference of the circle. So first student need to identify that A, B, C, D is a quadrilateral. By the way, he know that the all 4 vertices of the quadrilateral are on the circumference of the circle. So he want to say that A, B, C, D is a cyclic quadrilateral. So for that purpose, first A, B, C, D. AB is the diameter of the circle and A, B, C, D are the vertices of the quadrilateral and all 4 these quadrilaterals are the circumference of the circle. So what are the given things means here angle C is given as 120 degrees. So if student understood this is a cyclic quadrilateral, directly he will tell you angle A is equal to 180 minus 120, that is equal to 60 degrees. Directly he will tell you, because if you know the property of the cyclic quadrilateral, the sum of opposite angles is 180 degrees. Therefore, angle A plus angle C should be equals to 180 degrees. If angle C is equal to 120 degrees, directly you will tell you angle C is A is equal to 60 degrees. This is the first concept. If we solve this question, the second concept the student should know, that is here AB is the diameter of the circle. Then if you observe this one, this angle is the angle in the semicircle. So when he identified this is an angle in a semicircle, he will say this is 90 degrees. 100% he will say this is 90 degrees, because we learn this theorem in 9th class only, that is angle in a semicircle is 90 degrees. Now afterwards the third concept is the sum of 3 angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Therefore, if it is 90 and if it is 60, 90 plus 60 plus x should be equals to 180 degrees. The sum of 3 angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. If you add these two, 150 plus x is equal to 180. By solving this, x is equal to 180 minus 150, that is equal to 30 degrees. So x is equal to 30 degrees. So this is one of the important concept. While solving this question, students should know 3 concepts. The first concept is the cyclic quadrilateral. and its property, the sum of opposite angles is 180 degrees. The second concept is the angle in a semicircle is 90 degrees. The third concept is the sum of three angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. If we know these three concepts, we can solve this question easily. For example, if you go for this one, this is also a question in circles in 10th class standard. So here if you observe this figure, here the circle is having three tangents. This is the first one, and this is the second one, and this is the third one. So you know, every student should know what is tangent and what is secant. Tangent means the line which touches circle at one point is called as a tangent. Here this line is touching circle at one point, that is A, and this line is touching one point at B, and this line is touching at one point at C. Now my question is the angle TOE. This angle I want to prove as 90 degrees. This angle I want to prove as 90 degrees. For that purpose, just if you join O and C, what happened you see? This entire part is now divided into four triangles. This entire part is now divided into four triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. Now we need to observe, we need to concentrate on these four triangles. Here we are applying knowledge, the congruency of triangles. Congruency of triangles. For example, if I take the triangle 1 and triangle 2, this triangle, I mean AOD and COD. While writing the name of the triangle also, you want to maintain the same thing. So AOD triangle and COD triangle. If you see these two triangles, the first concept we need to teach every student if you want to solve this question. The lengths of the tangents from the external point to a circle are equal. The lengths of the tangent. For example, D is one of the external point to the circle. From through D, I drawn two tangents. This is the first tangent and this is the second tangent. So while our theorem, these two are equal. While the theorem, these two, I mean AD is equal to DC. And another thing is, this is the common for the both triangles, that is OD is equal to OD. And another theorem is there, the tangent makes 90 degrees with the radius at point of contact. The tangent makes 90 degrees with the radius at point of contact. I mean angle A is equal to angle C. If you see these two triangles, one of the congruency rules are acceptable for these two triangles, that is RHS, hypotenuse is equal, one of the side is equal, and one angle is 90 degrees. Or you can say by SSS congruency rule also, because OA is equal to OC, that is the radius of the circle. So by SSS criteria also, these two triangles are congruent. Therefore, when these two triangles are congruent, these two angles are equal. I mean AOD angle is equals to COD. If you say this is X and this is X, if you prove these two triangles are congruent, then you can say this angle is X and this angle X. Because of CPCT, these two angles are equal. If you think about the triangle 3 and triangle 4, same congruency rule if you apply, these two triangles also congruent. By OC is equal to OB, because of their radius, OE is the common side, and EC is equal to EB, because E is the external point to the circle. So the lengths of the tangent through the external point to the circle are equal. Therefore, EB is equal to EC. Hence, these two triangles also congruent. By the by, if you prove these two triangles are congruent, therefore these two angles are equal by CPCT. You say this is Y and this is also Y. Equal angles, we can say take two equal variables, that is Y and Y. And in the question it is mentioned that AB is a straight line, it is passing through the center. AB is a straight line, it is passing through the center. Therefore, in any straight line, the sum of all angles will be equals to 180 degrees. Through this figure, we can write x plus y plus y is equal to 180 degrees, and 2x plus 2y is equal to 180 degrees. So if you make two common, x plus y is equal to 180 degrees and x plus y should be equals to 90 degrees if you send 2 to that side. So x plus y is equal to 90 degrees. X plus y means this is angle x and this is angle y. Therefore, if you add these two angles, the sum of these two angles is equals to this angle, that is angle DOE is equal to 90 degrees. This is one of the important question in 10th class standard. If you teach this question by all these concepts, they learn easily and they will prove it very easily. So here I didn't prove anything, just I explained, because by this explanation students should learn how to write and how to solve this question systematically. First you need to prove these two triangles are congruent, and after these two triangles are congruent, afterwards you want to apply the CPCT. So these two angles are equal and these two angles are equal, and the angles on the same line, and a line will be equals to 180 degrees. By that you can prove this angle is equal to 90 degrees. So like this we can prove these two questions and we can solve these two questions. When student learn these concepts practically, he do easily these type of questions. By the way, at the end of this class, I want to tell you one thing. In 8th class, one of the student asked me, why 5 to the power of 0 is equal to 1? Why 5 to the power of 0 is equal to 1, he asked me. How can we explain 5 to the power of 0 is equal to 1? So for this purpose, I explain like this. So 1 is equal to 1. This 1 I can write 5 by 5 is equal to 1. So we already explained about the exponents rules, that is a to the power of m by a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m minus n. If you apply this rule, we can say 5 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So here 5 by 5 means 5 to the power of 1 by 5 to the power of 1. So if you apply this rule, this is according to this rule, 5 to the power of 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. So 5 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So like this, if you explain every doubt to a student by applying some mathematical rules, they can learn mathematics easily. Thank you.